Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League. I am Ventus, and I'm joined with one of the great Speed Demon. We're gonna be bringing you another rival league matchup. Another one of these teams looking to make a playoff play-in push. Another team where they're stuck in the middle of the rankings. Right in the thick of it, and they're trying to really separate themselves and make a name for themselves. And I might have talked a little bit too much, but I wanted to kick it over to Speed. Speed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty good. I've got some great rival league action tonight, as you said. Chimeras and Mafiosos both sitting at 4-7. Seeing the Thunderbirds lose there, meaning a win tonight by either one of these teams, will solidify them into a play-in spot. So one of these teams will solidify themselves into a play-in spot after tonight. Not, nothing's guaranteed, but they would be into one of those spots by the end of the night. So, it's definitely huge to start getting into one of those spots, and then the destiny's in your hands at that point.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Making your own destiny and choosing the path that you guys are going to go on, rather than risking it for all the other teams to leave the way for you, leave the path open, is not ideal. I think we have. Do we have everybody? No, we do not. We're still waiting for. It looks like mafiosos, but I mean, these both these teams kind of had up and down seasons so far. I mean, Chimeras, they had to trade away Demas earlier in the season. We actually just saw Demas on Distortion, balling out. He's been really solid for them. An unfortunate player that they've lost. And I mean, Chimeras, Mafioso is also having their up and downs. They did trade for JuicyLeaf. That trade hasn't really worked out too well in their favor either. Both these teams making some moves, trying to really solidify themselves. But is there one move that you think that has made a bigger impact on the team?
That's definitely a hard one here, as both teams only having 4 wins on the season. It's really hard to say that any of the moves they made has made an impact. You would like to see a team, if they have made an impact with a move, it would have affected them more greatly. If I was to say one, just knowing the caliber of player that Juicy Leaf is, him been in my org last season and at the beginning of this season, I would say that it would be Juicy Leaf, and it could easily be one. But we are gonna get this one started here. We do got mafiosos here. It's gonna be Juicy Leaf, Landon, and Zero for mafiosos, and Galaxies, Dissa, and C. I don't know who C is. I'm assuming that's Kobe. For Chimeras here.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that C is Kobe as well. A player not super known in the Nemesis realm. Hopefully, he's going to be making a statement for himself today, as kind of looking for a little pass back into his corner. Juicy, they're trying to put a shot on. A little bit of early pressure coming out for the mafiosos. Landon going to put this one up to the corner, but Kobe already there. Galaxy's going to have to clear this one away. Dissa, another addition that Dissa is, he was on Vortex earlier in the season, and then they had some cap changes onto that Vortex roster, and Dissa, Isaac, and LK actually not able to fit into a team together. Getting picked up by Chimeras might be a player to look out for, Speed in this match.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with that one. And he can make a huge impact. He's a great player. He's been known in the league for quite some time, as he's going to be on the ball here, trying to make something happen. Gets this one across, but no teammate there, and he's unable to get that 50. And Mafioso is going to do a great job trying to on this counter attack, and Juicy's going to put that one just wide, and Kobe is going to send that one away. But yeah, I would definitely have to agree. This could be a huge pickup here for this Chimeras team. We'll just have to see how this goes after this game number one.
Looks like a shot gonna be put on target. Juicy Leaf gonna be able to put that one in the back of the net. A good pass by Xerox there, leaving it for Juicy Leaf to have the not open net, but all the defenders really out of sorts, with a great pass from Zero there. And obviously Juicy Leaf gonna put that one home. A great player, one player that was actually on the Kings, a team that you are the GM for. Maybe little regretful of that trade, as King's not looking so hot this season. But what can you do? You got to make some changes, make some moves, and Juicy Leaf definitely showing out early in game number one. Kobe looking to get a 50, does so, leaves it for Dissa. Dissa getting a pass out to Galaxies, but Juicy Leaf gonna be there, put that one away into the yellow half. Dissa gonna try to get a bump here, looking for a pass, gets a pass zero. Covey puts a shot on net, but it's not gonna be on target. Dissa might get a free double touch here, and he is gonna put that one away and tie up the scoring.
Yeah, that's not something you see often. JuicyLeaf misreading this ball and zero awkward there. And, just a great boost control, able to follow this one up, open net, put that one away. And that's the type of plays that you're going to get from Dissa. He may not necessarily wow you, but he's very consistent and he's really got the basic mechanics down of Rocket League, being able to control his car and just boost into that to make sure he gets a good solid touch on that so that any third defender rotating back isn't going to get to that ball.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. Dissa is very powerful on the ball and off the ball. He's a super solid overall player, and we saw it in the Vortex earlier. But looks like Landon might be able to put this shot on target, and he does so. A little bit of a misplay there from Chimeras. JuicyLeaf getting zero, sorry, getting a great 50 on Covey and leaving the net wide open for Landon.
That's just an unfortunate read right there by Galaxy. That ball pinches. He's not quite expecting that to hit the ceiling. He thinks that's going to, come over to the right a little more as he started going up that sidewall, and that ball just hits the ceiling and drops just out of his reach where he's not able to get back to that ball. It was a great attempt by Galaxies there, but it's an even better play there by the Mafiosos to be able to give themselves this lead and halfway through this match and really, try to make something happen and put this Chimeras team on the back foot.
We'll see if they are able to do so. They've had some more pressure here. Maybe a potential shot coming out from Landon. Dissa gonna cut that one away, putting it back into the red half. Xerox gonna put this one up on the backboard, making Dissa get a great clear. JuicyLeaf on this one already in the corner. Tries to put it out mid. Not gonna be able to do so. Is Landon gonna be the first to that ball? Actually, Galaxy's gonna put that pass right onto Kofi his car. Sorry, a little burp there, but looks like Landon gonna catch this one into the red corner. Gonna get a clear away. A little bit of back and forth play. JuicyLeaf has a great opportunity there. Gets a 50 out middle. Galaxy's getting a beat on Landon. The net is kind of open. Xerox not able to get a touch there, and that one's just gonna find the back of the net.
Yeah, Xerox finds himself up just a little too far as Landon isn't able to get a 50. Find himself backpedaling and just misses that. He had plenty of boost, but he's just missing that. Like I said, if he was, a little more patient, a little further back, he's definitely making that save. We see rival players make that save all the time. That's kind of a very easy save for them. But as another attempt comes out here by Dissa, and that one's going to get saved away. But Kofi's trying to keep this one. He's pressuring really hard. Galaxy's going to get this one across. He's looking for that pass middle, and that's going to get 50'd out and relieve that pressure there for Mafiosos.
It's kind of surprising to see that Mafiosos had played so aggressively with their third man, being up in the game, and so they're obviously very confident in their own abilities. But it looks like they just got caught out of net there, and they might have caught Chimeras out of net there, but Galaxy luckily able to get that clear away, and he's gonna get another 50, putting it into the red corner. Tries to steal the boost, gets demoed for his efforts. Dissa puts this one on target. Xerox not really expecting that one, and that one's gonna find the back of the net as well.
Yeah, that one's definitely there on Juicy. Juicy gets the demo, a little awkward, but he gets that boost and then wasn't quite expecting that boost to spawn as it spawned on him. And Xerox sees him get that boost. He thinks he's going to be able to make a play and just unable to do so. And again, just small mistakes coming out here from the Mafiosos, which is leading to them to have a little bit of confusion here defensively.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean Dissa capitalizing on that all the more merrier there, as he has just been so great early in this series, and he's continued to put put Mafiosos on the back foot and put Chimeras in the lead, and he has been such a great player so far. Hopefully he will be able to continue this, as Xerox gonna pass it right to Dissa. Dissa gonna put this one, might be on target. Landon having to pre-flip back into the red half, but a little team pinch here might give Mafiosos a little bit of offensive pressure, but Xerox not able to get a touch there. JuicyLeaf gonna have to cut back into the rotation, try to put that one on target. Galaxy's looking for a solo play, trying to beat Xerox, and not gonna be able to do so, but it pops up into the midfield. Looks like a double fake comes out from Chimeras, maybe a miscommunication. It might leave Mafiosos open to a counterattack opportunity, but Galaxy's gonna get a cut there and put that one home as the clock winds down. Right, less than 10 seconds. Chimeras need to hold on to their lead. Mafiosos need to score. JuicyLeaf puts that one off the backboard, leaves it for Landon, but Landon gonna put it right back into JuicyLeaf, and that ball's gonna hit the ground. An unfortunate play for Mafiosos, but Chimeras hang on to game number one.
Yeah, that's Juicy Leaf right there. I think Juicy Leaf wanting to tie this game up so bad, wanting to really be the man of the show, and he should have initially just left that for Landon, knowing that they needed that goal, knowing that all three of them were going to be up. It was a great pass by Xerox. Juicy gets that first initial touch, bounce shot. He should have just known that Landon had a little more ability to read that, as Juicy Leaf was kind of trying to come straight up for the ball. Landon being able to, jump from a little further out, get that better angle. And when Juicy got called off, he was unable to get down out of the way in time. And that's a tough shot for Landon. He has to dodge two defenders in net plus his teammate, who were sitting right there kind of on the goal line. And that's just super unfortunate. Really close game. You love to see these really close, tight games. But we did see quite a bit of mistakes from both teams, which has, led this to be, you know, a little high scoring than what it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's more been they've been able to capitalize on the mistakes that are being made, as well as we've seen some goals that Dissa had a great shot on a very tough angle to hit, and he was able to do so seemingly with ease from a little bit of a Mafioso's misplay, but maybe a little bit of a misplay there as well on the side of Dissa. JuicyLeaf going to catch him out trying to steal or go back to the corner boost that was not there, and JuicyLeaf going to put that one home to give Mafiosos the lead.
Yeah, and great play there. Juicy coming out, putting his team up top on early. That's definitely a tough loss they just had. It's good to come out score early, but I really don't know what Dissa was doing there. He still had about 3/4 of a tank. That's a great save comes out by Juicy, and he's really trying to put his team, in a great spot to control this game number two. But as I was trying to say, is Dissa, he had over a half a tank of boost. I don't know why he was even attempting to go back for that corner boost there.
A nice double tap coming out from the Chimeras, and hopefully it won't spell the doom for the Chimeras as that slight misplay from Dissa come back to bite them. JuicyLeaf gonna tap this one out to Landon. Landon gonna clear this one away. Landon trying to pre-jump, get a beat on Covey. Covey still gonna get a touch to the Galaxies. Galaxies not a great touch, but Dissa able to follow that one up. It's gonna leak back into the red half where JuicyLeaf gonna clear that one away. Covey having to catch this one into the corner. Gonna get 50 by Landon. That one might be on target. JuicyLeaf almost gets the dunk on Galaxies, but not gonna be able to do so. Galaxies a great save. He's gonna be able to maybe have a counterattack, but not able to do much on that ball as he was low boost. Dissa, another great angle. A double commit though with Covey. Kind of throws the Chimeras out of whack and makes them have to retreat. Looks like Landon gonna 50 this one. Not much boost to his name either. Covey trying to get a little play started, but gonna give this one away to JuicyLeaf. JuicyLeaf still on the ball. He's got a full tank of boost. Takes it for an air dribble. He's past one. He's past two. But Covey gonna save that one away. And Mafiosos have looked and held a lot of pressure so far in game number two. It seems very similar to their game number one, where they've been able to mount a bunch of pressure, but have not been able to capitalize on these chances.
Yeah, that's the one thing is Mafiosos, they're looking great offensively, but for the most part here, Chimera's defense is looking pretty solid. They're limiting their mistakes. I've really only seen one or two kind of big mistakes, one being in this game that led to that first goal being scored. But the issue with Mafiosos so far is that redirect attempt coming out from JuicyLeaf just going to go off of the post and unable to go through. But if the Mafiosos can limit their mistakes, like that they had from the first game, this could definitely easily be a shutout for them. A lot of the goals that Chimeras had in that first game did come off of quite a few mistakes from the Mafiosos.
And we'll have to see if that trend continues, if Chimeras are going to continue to use that counterattack style. But looks like this one, JuicyLeaf is going to slot this one back in the net. Looks like he caught the defense sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, Galaxy, great touch for having no boost on the corner, but Dissa also having no boost, unable to get there, and Covey's just kind of stuck in no man's land, thinking that one of them's going to be able to 50 that out, and he's the only one with boost, and he's going to try to make a play, but he gets caught a little awkward on the back foot, having the only player on his team with boost there, and Mafioso is going to go up halfway through this game 2-0.
A great heads-up play there by JuicyLeaf, able to just find the cracks in the defense and the little gaps that in the rotation, just be able to slot one in between all of them. And he might look for a pass here as Xerox not going to be able to put this one on target, but keeps the ball in the Chimera's corner, adds on to the pressures. Kobe, not a great touch, landing a decent 50, but it's going to go all the way back to the red half. Galaxy's going to try to get a touch here, but Landon already on cut off on that one. JuicyLeaf looking for a bang clear, gets it over Dissa, but Kobe already there. Not a great touch, though, by Kobe. As a pass to JuicyLeaf. Xerox there, but Dissa going to make the save, but no one going to be able to follow up that save, as Xerox is going to get the rebound and put that one in the back of the net.
That's kind of a juicy pass, no pun intended there by Juicy himself, throwing that in the mid with two defenders there. Xerox did a great job reading that, putting a tough shot on net. Chimeras did a great job trying to send that one away. However, both those defenders that were in front did bite on that as they're going to try to get a counter here. Good dunk comes out by Covey. But no, Landon's going to handle that one. Not a lot of boost, and he's just going to try to clear this one down, and this one's going to settle in the midfield for Xerox off the backboard. No one up for the Mafiosos, though.
Seems like the Mafiosos have just been able to hold so much pressure. We see it; they're out shooting 7-3 against the Chimeras, and they've obviously scored those 3 goals. And they've tightened up the rotations a lot. They aren't pushing up and overcommitting as much as their third man, and so Chimeras have not been able to really generate these counterattacks that have worked in game number 1. A great cut there by Landon. He's going to be able to dissolve all of that pressure that Chimeras were able to generate, and Mafioso is looking very dangerous as they've continuously pummeled the net. Xerox looking for a pass out middle. This one's going to be awkward for Dissa. Dissa not going to be able to get the touch. It's kind of floating in the middle of the net. Landon looking for a pass to JuicyLeaf. JuicyLeaf going to put that one in it, but Dissa going to save that one away. It looks like a miscommunication here. This might be the mistake that Mafiosos or Chimeras were looking for against the Mafiosos, but looks like JuicyLeaf going to be that solid rock on defense. Big play coming out from him. Good dunk in 50, allowing his teammates to kind of get back in time, but a demo here on JuicyLeaf kind of leaves the net open. A good save by Xerox. Landon gonna have to throw his body, just hoping to get a touch on the save. Does so, and gets the clear as well. Doing a little dance on his way up into the yellow half, celebrating his efforts. Galaxy not able to get that touch on the pass from Covey. Is this one gonna be another shot attempt by Xerox? Gonna bounce between 3 cars into the midfield. JuicyLeaf avoiding that bump there. Is the clock going down? We are going to end this game with Mafiosos winning 3-0 in a very convincing victory and almost in dominant fashion.
Yeah, Mafiosos looked really scary in this one as we're just waiting for the ball to hit the ground, and there it is, and it is all but final. Game number 2 is gonna go to Mafiosos. They're gonna tie this series up 1 apiece. But yeah, they looked really, really good. Led there by Juicy Leaf, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 save on 5 shots. Landon doing his job, making a couple clutch saves there. Held down the fort, and defensively didn't get too much into the offensive action, but I think maybe that was a little game plan. Maybe they realized that they were, overcommitting a little bit into that first game, and Landon took it upon himself to be like, all right, I'm gonna just stay a little more reserved here, hold down the fort defensively and kind of let Juicy Leaf and Xerox do their thing, and it seemed to work out. On the other hand, for Chimeras, I think one of the things that is creating so much disconnect in this game number 2 is they didn't have a lot of boost management. Their positioning and their boost management, I think, is what really killed them in that one. I saw a lot of times where they had 2 players with 0 boost or at least less than 25, boost in the tank, which is very hard to keep good pressure and withstand a strong offense when you guys are struggling with boost.
Yeah, definitely. They were struggling on defense a lot. Hopefully, they will be able to, clean up the defense, maybe generate some more offensive opportunities, kind of bring back that game number 1 vibe as we head into game number 3. Kickoff going underway. Looks like Landon gonna kill this 50. Xerox looking for a 50 on his own, almost dunks Covey into the net, but not able to do so. Landon gonna be first to that one. A great speed out of him. Galaxy's needing to clear this one away. Double commit comes out on the side of Mafiosos, but it looks like Dissa not going to be able to generate much with it. Does get a double into the midfield, but no one able to follow up that shot. Looks like Xerox is going to be first on this ball. He's going to take this one, looking for a fake. Gets it past Dissa on a 50. Juicy Leaf trying to put this one on the net. Galaxy's already there, but a pass out mid, very dangerous. And another time we see a lot of low boost coming out from the Chimeras, but luckily Covey gets this boost from in the midfield, able to get that and put that one in the back of the net, able to just beat out that last defender.
And that all right there is, Dissa doing what he can, 0 boost, knowing that that ball was awkward for Xerox. Not a lot of pace on that one, so he had the ability to pre-jump and try to block that one. He gets a great block, and if it wasn't for Covey being there, grabbing that mid boost and going after that effort would have been all for nothing. But Covey does a great job, finding his groove there and making that great slot into the top right bins.
And they're finally able to break out of their of that defense that Mafiosos has constantly been holding them in. And the main driver there was Dissa, who we talked about earlier in this series, is going to be kind of like a key player for them. Is as a new player, not really knowing how to fit into the rotation just yet. All eyes are going to be on him to be able to stand up and be able to make some plays and generate things to happen. So hopefully he'll be able to continue to do so. As this ball going to go into the yellow corner, it's going to go awkwardly for Covey. Covey trying to get a touch, Galaxy having to bail him out, but another time where there's another double commit and the boost has to be used to cover the gaps in the rotations, and luckily this one doesn't amount to anything as Dissa full boost on the ball. It does get bumped for his efforts, and Landon gonna clear this one away. Landon going for a solo play here, maybe trying to get a pass to Xerox, not going to be able to do so. JuicyLeaf just waiting in the midfield, tries to put a shot on net. They're kind of double pre-jumped on him, but it's an opportunity for the Chimeras as Kobe gets a good 50. This one's going to drop into the middle, but a great save by Xerox, and some back and forth gameplay here as JuicyLeaf tries to get a flick on the net, not able to get a good flick on that touch, as that one's not going to be much of a necessary defense for the Chimeras, but a great bump there coming out from Dissa. A little bit of an air dribble bump, kind of leading the offense, letting Galaxies shoot that ball, and he's gonna put that one home for the 2-0 lead.
I think that's a really unfortunate series of events there for the Mafiosos. I would have loved, I love the solo play idea from Juicy, but he just didn't have a lot of boost in the tank to really finish off that flick attempt. And I would have loved to see him pass that ball to across the net to Xerox, but Dissa, he's gonna put in another one here, and he's gonna put the Chimeras team up 3-0 here as Xerox looking silly, flying across that goal line, not realizing that Dissa was gonna be able to put such a great cut onto that ball.
Yeah, and I think he expected Kobe to take it to the corner, so he was kind of cheating up a little bit for Kobe's touch, and Dissa kind of took the ball off of Kobe's car. Maybe there's a communication there, and Kobe left it for Dissa, and that's going to throw the defense completely out of whack. Leave that last man back super awkward, and he's not going to be able to read that play. Does a great shot on net, and he's going to put that one home to give a 3-0 lead to Chimeras, which is the exact reverse that we've seen from the Mafiosos in game number 2. We saw the Mafiosos very dominant on and off the ball and able to generate pressure just like that, as JuicyLeaf able to find that one, kind of stuff the 50 into the back of the net. But Chimeras looking very dominant, if you negate that one goal.
Yeah, and that right there is just great play. Juicy Leaf coming from the blind side. Covey doesn't have boost to be able to get a powerful clear and just gets out 50 there. And I guarantee you he didn't even know Juicy was there. His teammates were rushing back, trying to help him. And that's definitely a tough one to see when someone comes from your blind side like that and just kind of, side 50s you there.
Definitely unfortunate for the Chimeras. Kobe not really expecting that one, and maybe Mafioso's kind of getting back into this series or this game specifically a little bit. But that one, a great shot by Dissa once again, and that one's gonna find the back of the net and stop the bleeding from Chimeras and add one to their goal total.
Yeah, Dissa and Covey really being this two-headed offensive monster right now in this game number 3, trying to put their team up, put them on match point here, kind of making the Mafiosos in this game look a little silly. It's kind of surprising as Juicy is trying to make something happen, isn't able to get the good 50 dunk that he was looking for. As Dissa again with another pre-jump dunk, can he make something happen here? He's looking to get this ball middle. Galaxies is there, and he is going to get that 50, and now they're up 5-1.
Yeah. This absolutely stellar performance so far. Has 100% goal participation with these 5 goals that Chimeras have scored. Has 3 assists. You just saw the playmaker badge, and 2 goals to his name. Stellar output there from Dissa, and he's definitely been the leader here in the Chimeras offense, and holding the fort on defense, able to generate some great clears and really kind of surprise and shock the Mafiosos squad, who haven't really had to deal with that much of the speed aspect, where they naturally have just been faster to the ball than Chimeras, and have been able to rein in the boost game. But with Dissa being able to pre-jump dunk and get these crazy touches, a great passing play there by Mafiosos. But Chimeras just looked so good with this at the helm, but a great beat there by Xerox, and Landon gonna put that one home to give it limit the lead to 3, and you can still come back from it, but it's definitely gonna be difficult.
It's definitely tough with the way this game has gone, but hold up. Not even 2 seconds later, Landon is going to put in their third goal, cut this lead within two with still a minute two left. And now this is very much so doable, Ventus. They're finding their groove here. Kind of weird how Landon just asked for a server reset after this game, and then he goes and scores the last two goals within, 2 seconds of each other here for the Mafiosos.
Yeah, I mean maybe a little bit of a an interesting play from Landon. Obviously, maybe wanting the server reset, just feeling the lag a bit. But looks like the Chimera is going to get a lot of offense generation here, as Galaxy's going to put this one, going to get 50 though, and then going to try to get some offensive pressure of his own. JuicyLeaf going to be the first of this ball, looking for a pass, but nobody there for it. It's like Xerox going to try to clear this one away. Does pretty well to hold possession, but gets bumped. He's still going to be first to this ball. Kind of gives it away, though. Galaxy's going to be first to that one. Dissa, great pass off the backboard for Galaxy's. Galaxy's going to try to put this one on the back, but not able to find it. He elects for the double tap, but then can't find the angle, puts it just off. And unfortunately, you know, it's not going to be too much of a detriment to the Chimera squad, as they are still up 2 seconds or 2 goals with 3 seconds left, and that one's gonna end with the Chimeras leading the charge. But some great play from Mafiosos to kind of open up the scoring towards the latter half of this game, and hopefully they're able to do some more in the next.
Yeah, great attempt on that comeback here by Mafiosos. Um, it does look like that we are going to have a server reset here, as requested. So we will get that up. But as we're getting this new server up here, um, great attempt there. Galaxies. I don't know why he elected for that double tap. He had the whole right side of the net wide open. Just he decides to put it just high and wide and try to get that double tap, and ends up pushing it far left on that shot attempt, which could have given their team a little more momentum heading into this game. Number four up 2-1. Yes, they still won by 2 goals, but that 3 goal, after Mafiosos put in the last two, definitely would have, changed the momentum. But Mafiosos are having that momentum now coming into this. Galaxy's missing that. It shouldn't affect the mental on Chimeras too much here, but missing something as wide open as that definitely could have an effect.
Yeah, and this game is, or this series especially, is very important, but that game as well. All the momentum you can generate is very necessary for the overall series. And these teams have both kind of been up and down. They haven't been able to beat these top seeds that we'd hope, and they've been able to beat the lower seeds. So anytime you kind of see this where you have two teams where they're the same records, similar level, you really need to take the wins here that you can. As you know, Chimera's in a tough division with Whiteout and Pineapples, need to win as many as they can just to secure the wild card. And I mean, Mafiosos, they have to deal with Vortex in their division, and so they got to win as many as they can to also just get a wild card spot. And so these games, especially coming down the stretch, are even more important against the teams that are the same record as you, just to allow you that leeway of your seeding. Maybe you get one of the final two playoff spots, or you just have a better seeding for the play-in match. But either way, it's very important that you win this series.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's definitely more important for the Chimeras, just because if you take a look at uh their division is a little bit stronger of a division, right? Um, they got Whiteout 9-2, Pineapples 9-2, and then Blaze at 4-7, tied with them coming into this match night, versus Mafiosos, right? They're technically sitting second in their division, so they have a fairly weak division with Bearcats tied with them 4-7 coming in tonight, and the Kings, my poor Kings, only at one win this season. So, Chimeras having to play their division opponents, one more time each, and same with Mafiosos. This is definitely a huge game for Chimeras to try to close out. Don't go to game five. Don't give this Mafioso's team and Landon, who's trying to get that solo play dribble attack going, any more momentum than that they already have.
Yeah, definitely. We, as Chimeras, on match point, they're trying to close this one out, give themselves another win in the win column, and keep their play-in playoff hopes alive. They're going to try to get a double touch with that one. Not going to be able to get much pressure, though. A great flick over one. Xerox gets a good 50 on Kobe as well. Dissa going to be there to clear that one away, but it's going to go right to Juicy. This one off the backboard. Dissa going to be first to this one. A great skim touch to put this into the red half, and Mafioso was able to get some more offensive pressure, some passing plays coming out. JuicyLeaf looking for a shot, and that one is going to find the back of the net. Dissa not going to be able to be there in time.
Yeah, that 70-mile-per-hour shot there from Juicy. Tough angle. Dissa's right there, but it's coming in so hot that Dissa just doesn't have the time to be able to react to that. And giving Mafiosos, again, they're on a 3-goal streak here, unanswered, between last game and this game, as they're looking to get another one. Can Juicy get the beat here? No. Covey is going to send this one away. Bumps Dissa, but it's still going to work out in their favor. But Xerox going to send this one down, but no, Landon wasn't quite expecting that. It's going to get sent away, but Landon's going to keep it in. This one's going to fall in front of net. Dissa, that awkward and terrible, things that we see happen when you throw it in front of your net. But thankfully, Mafiosos were not there to capitalize.
Mafiosos have been able to generate a lot more offensive pressure early in this game, number 4. Hopefully they're going to be able to do some more damage as Landon trying to find a pass to Juicy off the backboard. Not really going to be able to get the correct touch he wants. Xerox going to have to cover that. Covey going to clear this one away, but it's right to JuicyLeaf. JuicyLeaf gets a beat on one, looking for another beat as there's a demo coming out on the field as well. Demo against Dissa. Landon going to look for a shot. Going to not be able to find that one on target. It's going to go off the post. Galaxy's going to try to get first to this one, but JuicyLeaf going to get a beat. Landon looking for a shot as well. Dissa, another great touch to clear that one away. He's going to be first to this ball. Looking for a double touch. Not going to be able to get that one. Is cleared away by Xerox. A great pass by Dissa right into the almost net. Galaxy's not going to be able to find that one. Is the Mafiosos are going to clear it away. Landon trying to generate some pressure, just going to force challenge Dissa and try to get him to throw the ball away. But Dissa, so great in the air. He's going to be able to put that one back into the backboard to generate some more offensive pressure for the Chimeras, keep them into it. And kind of as we get halfway through the game, it's a little bit more even in terms of offensive presence for both teams, but Mafiosos still have a little bit of an edge, with Dissa trying his best to make sure that Chimeras are still in it.
I think we need to see some great passing plays. As I was about to say that, we saw it happen. Covey, not a lot of boost, zero boost actually, just getting this one hard as he could. Galaxy's being in the right spot and just going to beat Juicy there for that goal. Tie this one up with 2:12 remaining, as I think that's what Chimeras need to get back into. They've had a lot of great passing plays. They're kind of stemming away from it this game. They haven't quite had the opportunities, and they're kind of going for some more solo plays. So I think they can get back together to that team passing plays that we've seen work so well for them. I think they're going to have a great outcome in this game number 4.
I definitely agree. Is the passing plays were very crucial in their dominant win in game number 3, but a great play there by JuicyLeaf, gonna give Mafiosos the lead, kind of capitalizing on a must touch by Covey and Galaxies, and he's gonna find that tight angle to put that one home.
Yeah, and that's what else do you expect from Juicy, right? Juicy, he's been all over the pitch in this series so far. He's looking really, really, really good. He's really trying to force this, keep his team alive here. Force this game number 5. Galaxies unable to get his car under control there, but Covey, great attempt by Galaxies as Covey keeps this one in. Galaxies there trying to get that quick flip back middle, but Covey just coming too hot, unable to do anything with it. And Landon on the counter attack, going to put that one in and give Mafiosos now a 2-goal lead.
It's a great pass by JuicyLeaf to Landon. Landon just, perfect placement right behind Covey as that back post defender. Kind of cheated up a little bit to cover the cross net shot, and he's gonna find that one in the bottom right to give Mafiosos a 2-goal lead with a minute and 30 left. Very dangerous for the Chimeras, who want to end this series, as it looks like there's a rule number 1. Maybe they're breaking it here. It looks like Xerox breaks the rule number 1, and he's gonna elect to just play a 3v3 instead of trusting Landon and Juicy on the 2v2s. We'll see if this comes back to haunt them. But as a shot off the post from Xerox, not able to find the back of the net. Luckily for the Chimeras, they hold on, but unfortunate shooting there. But even more offensive pressure coming out from the Mafiosos, just giving a barrage of shots on net, as we've seen about 12 shots to 3 now for the Mafiosos, and they just cannot be stopped right now as another passing attempt comes out to Xerox. Not going to be able to put that one on net. Covey looking to slow this ball down, take a solo play. Gets bumped. And Landon going to get a free touch on the back wall. But going to get sent right to Dissa as he's going to try to put that one. But Landon pre-jumping off the ceiling, he's going to lock that one down, kind of make up for his missed touch there. Another demo coming out. More demos all over the pitch coming out. Multiple on the side of Mafiosos. But Mafiosos going to get a clear away. 20 seconds remaining as Mafiosos seem to be poised to take number 4 and force a game number 5. They looked very dominant, and Chimeras have not been able to hold on enough to this Mafiosos offense. And that's kind of been the real game changer here in game number 4 is Mafiosos seemed like they've refound their poise.
Yeah, Mafiosos, specifically JuicyLeaf, doing a lot in this game and getting 556 points. Had the 2 goals and the 1 assist, so 100% goal participation, 6 shots. He wants this one. He wants it bad. JuicyLeaf, one of I'd say easily a top 5 player within rival. Looking really good, trying to propel this Mafiosos team to that advantage that he so desperately wants, as the season quite hasn't gone the way that he's hoped for. Now Chimeras, on the other hand, we've seen it, the passing plays that come out. I think that's the biggest deal with them. They're all very good, solid individual players, but no one really stands out. Yes, Dissa would probably be the one that stands out the most, and really can go for those solo plays. But I think their strong point is when they look to find each other and get this Mafiosos team kind of moving left to right with these passes, and keep them on their toes.
Yeah, definitely. So the question is for this game number 5 match, will Mafioso's offensive pressure be too much for the Chimeras to handle, or will Chimera find each other in the passing lanes and be able to, get some great shots and some goals and on target? And as we kick off this game number 5, a quick shot coming out by Xerox. Galaxy's gonna have to make a great save, and Covey having to cover across the net. Landon looking for another pass out here, but gonna be cleared away by Galaxy. Xerox kind of cuts that one off early, looking for the sidewall. Gets the touch, but not on target. Going to be cleared away by Galaxy's. Dissa going to be first to this one. Tries to fake out Juicy, but JuicyLeaf not falling for it as he's going to get a 50 Landon. Into the corner, but cleared away by Covey. Covey still on the ball. Tries to pass it off, but nobody's really there for the Chimeras. Maybe already feeling the boost starvation of Mafioso's offensive pressure. A great demo attempt coming out from Dissa. Landon's going to have to just bang this ball away and hope that they can pick it back up, as Juicy is going to get a great challenge there. Looking for a bump on Dissa, not going to be able to find it, but some more early Mafiosos pressure has allowed a lot more shots, and they've been playing this midfield very well. It seems very reminiscent of Game 4.
Yeah, they're looking really good. They're locking down that midfield, which we all know midfield pressure is huge here, especially as you get into the higher leagues. Not letting up those scary offensive threats, as Dissa going to the ceiling and looking for that reset, unable to, as he gets stuffed there. Galaxy's back, trying to make a good read here, but he's going to decide to let Landon hit it middle. Dissa gets that 50 over to Covey, and Dissa's going to break this one out, look to make something happen. Tries to get it over one, but smart patience there by Xerox, just letting him give him the ball away, as Covey's now going to have to track this one back to his corner. Ventus, we have 3 minutes left here. We're still 0-0. Dissa trying to make something happen, and I think he's going to be the one that has to do it, and he does. That's a great setup there by Dissa.
Yeah, I mean, very, very good control there. He's able to get it over JuicyLeaf, able to get it over Landon as well. Leaves it for Galaxy's, electing not to try to, force a double touch with 0 boost. And Galaxy's just kind of getting a little free cleanup goal. He's going to be the janitor for this one. Another one of these passing plays where, this was more of a solo play coming out from Dissa, able to beat both defenders from Mafiosos, but a good play nonetheless from Dissa's. Chimeras look to seal the deal here in game number 5 and hold on to their lead, but Mafioso's not out yet. A great passing play, 1-2 coming from Xerox to Landon. Xerox electing to leave this one for JuicyLeaf. JuicyLeaf getting a dunk on Galaxies. A demo comes out on the side of Mafioso's. A pass to JuicyLeaf here, but going to be great save by Covey. Dissa not able to get a touch. Maybe another shot attempt coming out. Going to be another double commit save there. Not going to put this one on target from Xerox. And it looks like Chimera's still going to hang on for now, but the boost starvation, all 3 of the players have no boost. It looks like Covey cheated up to the midfield to grab the midfield boost. Luckily, does not get punished. And Chimeras seem to hold on for now. As 2 minutes left, we see some Chimera's livelihood, but this ball going to be sent all the way back to the Chimera's defense. Dissa going to have to clear this one to Galaxies. Galaxy's a good beat. JuicyLeaf going to just elect to take his time here. Pops it over Dissa, and it's going to launch to the backboard. Dissa not going to be able to find the touch. JuicyLeaf not going to be able to find the shot either. Xerox trying to put this one off the corner into the midfield, but going to be cleared away. Landon looking for a pass out. JuicyLeaf is there, looking for the double tap. JuicyLeaf not able to find that one on target. Xerox trying to get the follow-up, not going to be able to 50 that one through. Is just a great clear over Landon. A little bit early of a commit as third man there from Landon. Maybe we'll see if Chimeras are able to take this opportunity, but unfortunately Landon going to get a great demo there in the midfield, and some more shots coming out from Chimeras, but still having to deal with a lot of this pressure from the Mafiosos, still out shooting them 10-2.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy as we head into the final minute here that Mafiosos all this pressure and nothing to show for it as Xerox gets the touch over to the corner, but a little too much. Juicy unable to handle that pass. Got plenty of boost to work with, but no. Gonna go back in his corner. Xerox gonna try to take his time, get to clear. Does get it over one as we hit that final minute warning. As Mafiosos are trying very hard, they're getting very aggressive, and I know Juicy wants his bad. And we did see him kind of whiff on one wide open net. He just was unable to make the proper read. But this one's gonna go over to Juicy now as we have 45 seconds down to back to Landon. Can Landon get this beat? Kind of does. Dissa awkward touch, and that one's gonna get cleared away into the corner.
This Mafioso squad has just continued to shoot just many shots on target, but maybe they need to start looking at quality of these shots. It seems like a lot of these times that the Chimeras have not really been too threatened from these shots, just kind of shooting them, testing the goalkeeper, where they need to be really looking for the extra pass, disrupt the defense a little more with some bumps. And with 10 seconds left, Chimeras just trying to get the ball out of their end. Landon going to have to take this one all the way there, but Galaxy's going to put this one off the backboard. Dissa just trying to keep it out of the possession of Mafiosos and looking for a passing play there. A great dunk by Galaxies, and Chimeras going to take this one in game 5.
Yeah, and like I said, that's very huge here for Chimeras as they definitely have the tougher division, and this is huge for them, knowing that they have to play two coming into this night, 2 9-2 teams, still left to end of the season. That's really huge for them. Mafiosos, it was a valiant effort, great back and forth series. You could definitely tell Juicy was trying his hardest there, but just wasn't enough. He didn't quite have as much help as Dis and Covey. Those two really were putting a lot into this one, and it paid off for him. Grinding out a tough 1-0 win here in game number 5, and getting themselves into after tonight a postseason position.
Great play from both those teams. And we still have one more match of the night. We're gonna have to, transition a little bit quickly, as we aren't gonna be able to talk anymore about this rival league match. We have the Blackhawks versus the Faded, 7-4 Blackhawks versus the 4-7 Faded in the Prospect League, coming at you in just a couple minutes. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.